All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. This is the Hemp panel at the New England Cannabis Convention. Thank you all so much for being here today. What it shows is you could be anywhere in the world, you could be anywhere in this convention hall, but you chose to be here because you want to learn about hemp, you want to get involved, and these are some of the leading people in Maine paving the way, and they have been pretty much since the beginning. Fun fact, I'm sure you all know that this year Maine is celebrating 20 years of your medical marijuana program, the oldest medical marijuana program in New England. So we're going to party like it's 1999. Yeah, and continuing to pave the way and make it happen here with this hemp industry. So without further ado, if you could please all introduce yourselves, your company, and what you do in the hemp and cannabis space.
My name is Dawson Julia, and I'm a medical marijuana caregiver and a hemp farmer, and we make CBD products. My business is East Coast CBDs, and I'm also like an activist for hemp and medical marijuana.
If you push your button, you should be able to go now. We're not.
Hey, I'm Uncle Pete. No?
Hey, listen.
Oh, and hold it down. We'll figure this out.
Hello. Oh, my.
Hey, I'm Uncle Pete.
Don't hold it down.
Hey, what's up?
There we go.
Hey, I'm Uncle Pete. We're figuring this out. Just like everybody else, we're winging it. I own Uncle Pete's Relief, a caregiver with my wife, and as well as a Green Gold Ink apparel company that is all cannabis related. We work with trying to make sure the local mom and pop stay in business.
Hi, I'm Janet McAllister. I own Hippie Chick LLC. We're up in Sandoval, Maine. I came into the cannabis industry in 2016, and I've done a ton of advocacy because we are paving the road for something new here, and there's lots of stuff that needs to be hashed out along the way. So that's what we're doing.
I am Catherine Lewis. I'm the board chair of Medical Marijuana Caregivers in Maine Trade Association, and I'm also co-owner with my husband of Homegrown Healthcare of Maine, which is a caregiving store in Augusta and in Hollowell, where we provide specialized service that we customize for our patients' needs.
Glenn Lewis, Homegrown Healthcare Maine, also advisory board member, medical marijuana caregivers in Maine. I've been a patient since 2002 in the medical program, and understanding around CBD is medicine to the hemp world, and the Farm Bill being passed last year, a couple of years ago, has really opened it up for us to explore that on the medicinal side and use it within our caregiving model. I've also been able to use the medical marijuana experience on my side of it to consult national hemp companies and help them in their field learn how to grow cannabis, because it's essentially, we call it medical cannabis or legal marijuana or hemp, but it's still the cannabis genome. It's the same plant. So all the things that we know within the medical marijuana program we can apply to the hemp program.
Fantastic. The hemp landscape in Maine is changing. How has the 2018 Farm Bill impacted your businesses? Dawson?
Well, I'm going to try to, when the rules come out, I'm going to try to get USDA certified as organic, if that's possible, and it's made me feel a lot more confident as far as selling my products and stuff on the open market, and so I've really just started to sell everything. I mean, no medical card. I mean, it just kind of new to me. I didn't do that like a year and a half ago. I wasn't doing that, so. I think it's a huge step, and right now it's almost like they're regulating it like corn or something. Like it's pretty wide open, so it's a good opportunity for the farmer or the manufacturer or retail sales, whatever. It's a no-brainer.
Well, I really think that the Farm Bill has changed, even in my office. We have patients that come in and we have products that are available that are straight CBD that I don't grow. The whole idea is to make our patients feel better and ourselves feel better. And this immensely helps us. It helps the farmers, the regular farmers, Because now we do recommend if you have a failed crop and something else you were doing, get into the hemp industry. There is a market for it. This is real. We're not asking you to grow THC and be pot farmers. We're asking you to be real farmers again because you're already farmers. So this hemp bill will allow you to do so legally. And that's the basis I wanted to say today out of everything. If you are farmers in the state of Maine, our green community welcomes you and you should be looking into this for, part of your income. Thank you.
For my business, the Farm Bill, although in and of itself the Farm Bill is a wonderful thing, it allows a whole new market that was not allowed before but was taking place. The issue that I have with the Farm Bill in respect to what I do is that it didn't really go far enough in clarifying a number of things. So it's created a buyer beware market. It's created a lot of turmoil business to business and state to state. There has been a lack of advocacy for real regulation and clean regulation throughout the nation. So my business in the course of 4 years went from being in 30 states to now being in 2. And that is the reality of what the Farm Bill did for me and my business.
True story. Before the Farm Bill, we as caregivers had no problem working with CBD products and marketing them. The Farm Bill came and it actually shut us down. It was very confusing. The state officials did not understand it, so they stopped what we were doing. If you had a store, there was fear that authorities were going to be coming in, the FDA was going to come in and pull your products from the shelves. So we had to do an emergency bill that the hemp farmers put together and presented to get language here in Maine that made that if you were using CBD in the food item, it was not considered an adulterant, it was just an ingredient. So there was a lot more work that had to be done once the Farm Bill passed. Again, I also agree with Janet that it was, the intent of it was great and the overall part of it was great, but it needs more and it still has tweaking to be done. And we need on the national level for all the states to come together to have a common understanding so that there can be interstate commerce where the hemp CBD THC is not considered in the distribution of it. So it's a product that is something that we can work in a much greater fashion if we clarify and make sure that all the states are on the same page.
For us, it's offered also a new revenue source that we hadn't actually looked at in a way to support our medical cannabis business. Having the Farm Bill in place has also allowed me to use my talents and help one of the top national hemp companies in the country get that FDA certification. And it's FDA, USDA certification. It's that applied knowledge, and there's a lot of farm folks that are getting involved with the hemp industry that really have no idea how to take care for the plant. So it's jobs. It's opening up jobs where we haven't had jobs before. And in our economy in this state, we know that there's not a lot of industry, so it's a new burgeoning industry, and as Janet was saying, it's got its issues. And it's definitely hurt some existing businesses that have been in place, but as we go along here, we the people can change that. That's why it's important to be active at the state level too and voice your opinion about what's going on.
Fantastic, wonderful segue. So what opportunities do you see for those looking to get into the hemp space?
Well, I think one of the huge things that's going to impact Maine and New England in the near future, I think it already is the dairy farms that are struggling right now, and a lot of them are going out of business, and this is a great opportunity for a lot of those guys. And, you know, I think we're going to see like federal grants and things like that that are going to start to happen, and hopefully go to a lot of these farmers that are trying to do this. Another thing is like the Madison paper mill, I guess they're working a deal right now, or maybe it's already gone through, and the new buyers are going to make hemp insulation, which is really cool. So that'll be a fiber use. And I'm hearing that like pellet companies are using the hemp fiber to make pellets with, and it's working really good. So there's going to be huge stuff going down with fiber, I think, in the next 5 years in Maine, and it's going to take up a lot of farm space to do this stuff. But hopefully we'll see like mills and stuff starting to get into the hemp thing, and it will affect every town in Maine, you know, in one way or another eventually. That's the vision I see. And but just for the everyday small guy, it's real easy to get into the program. You can sign up for an acre to grow it, and it's going to cost you like $550, and you need some, you know, basic farm equipment. But it's been a good. I've been doing it. This is my 3rd year now, and it's been a pretty cool experience.
How big is your grow? How many acres did you grow?
Well, this year I have 3 different fields, and one was an acre, one was 2 acres, and then my 3rd field was like 10 acres.
Are you planting from seedlings or from seed?
The 2 small fields we did clones, all female clones, and then the big field we just threw seeds in, and you know, it's.
So the clones you had to transplant into the ground, right?
Exactly, yeah. We laid plastic and
4Ds.
drip line and all that.
Machines for that.
Yeah, there's machines that you can actually get that are like a water wheel planter, but it makes it a lot easier to sit. You literally sit down. Do the job.
And what about you, Pete? What do you think about opportunities for those looking to get into the industry?
I think you should go for it. This is a brand new industry altogether. Lego, everybody stepped on a Lego and bruised their foot. We all have kids or grandkids. They just announced they're using hemp plastic from now on. There is a market for you to get into this than hemp. Again, you're not a drug dealer, you're growing a plant that's going industrial. This is the only reason I came today. So if you're out there and you are farmers, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing this. This is a viable crop. This will change. Every year the prices go with the market. This is definitely a home run if you're farmers out there. And I can't stress that enough for our industry. Thank you. Yeah.
You say, make a comment that every year the prices are going to go with the market. What does somebody that's actually gotten a few acres of hemp grown, say, in 2019, and they're harvesting it right now, what do you expect to sell your product for to yourself if you don't want to necessarily process it yourself?
Right, and that's a great question. He asked about, he didn't want to get into processing or drying or even dealing with it after he grew it. That's a home run. There are processors to buy from you. There are actually buyers out there to look for your hemp now. If it's 0.3 and lower on the THC level, there is a market for you to buy. If you are just hanging your crop down or cutting it down, it will be sold. I can give you a card after this for one of the companies that I've worked with, and I'm sure everybody here on this panel will do the same thing for you, so you can pick and choose who you want. There's no monopoly here on anything, sir. But I definitely suggest, if you are farmers, to look into the hemp industry. This is what we fought for in Maine. This is definitely things that we put how many hours in legislation, none of us can add them up. It's just something that we all believe in. CBD is the next future. And again, just think of those Legos when you step on them. It could be your oils that you're stepping on in a nasty little block. Okay. So does that help you?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Exactly. Yeah. You grow it. Where does it go after that?
So most guys are paying by the point is what I'm seeing across the marketplace. So it's like $2, $3, $4 a point, and a point is a percentage of CBD. So if you have a 10% certificate of analysis, results on your plant material, and let's say you're going to get like $30 per pound if it's $3 a point. So that's kind of what I'm seeing.
$3 a point
Per pound, right?
on that.
Per percentage per pound. Yeah. So.
Dry pounds? That the after it's been dried?
Yeah. That's how they're going to buy it. And some people are taking it and just doing the flower only, or maybe the leaf in the flower, stripping the plants. And then some people I'm hearing are like grinding it all up. They're cutting it down with combines and stuff, corn combines, and they're grinding it all up, which brings down your point value. Your points are going to drop a lot. So you got to weigh it up because there's nothing in the stocks really. It's not worth extracting.
That's just going to dilute your test.
Yeah,
think so.
and people don't want to buy stuff. If it's not at least like probably 8 to 10%, they're going to have a hard time, with processors. They want to process stuff with high content because they're going to get a lot more yield out of it. They're going to make more money.
And how about you? What do you think about opportunities for getting into the hemp industry?
So we've heard a lot about farming. I'm not a farmer. I don't grow really hemp or cannabis at all. It's my son-in-law does that, and we purchase isolate and distillate from the state of Maine through processors. So not being a farmer, I can tell you there is a whole lifestyle going on in this industry. You probably have seen it walking around. So you have your manufacturers, you have your farmers, then you have people who really don't have anything to do at all with cannabis, like graphic artists. We have lawyers now in the industry. We have whole careers sprouting up out of this industry. And without the farmer, the caregiver, the dispensaries, the manufacturers, those other businesses are also going to fall away. So I think if you're going to come into this industry, the first thing you need to bear in mind is that we are still fiercely advocating for clean legislation. We are fiercely advocating for rights. And if you're going to step up and step in, be prepared to do that as well.
There seems to be a little bit of a confusion that we have as well. Some of the price point when you say that you get so much per point, which kind of makes sense on your testing results. But then it's the dry weight versus the wet weight. They had a new pick in I think it was Whitefield going on. They were getting $25 to $35 a pound wet weight. You just mentioned that it was $30 a pound dry weight. We were anywhere between $30 a pound and $400 a pound, whether it's wet weight or dry weight. And that's really a confusion. I don't know if anybody can.
There are literally thousands of farmers, thousands of processors, and if you get online and you were looking for a CBD product in a raw form, biomass, you're going to get a whole list, and they all have a different price point. So I guess it would depend on who you're dealing with, how clean they're processing, whether it's seed to sale, whether they're a distributor, what form it's coming in, whether it's a biomass or whether it's an isolate or whether it's a distillate. I pay a different price depending on what I'm purchasing.
What about you, Catherine? What about getting into the industry?
Well, I'm starting to see other businesses pop up like the Legos. They're needing more supplies. We have people that come into our shop all the time asking for hemp clothing, hemp anything. It's now a novelty item. And so we're going to see a huge area of industry that's going to be in support products and the novelty items, like I said, the clothing, the hat, the bags, the doob tubes, anything that we're doing for plastic, people want in hemp. The hempcrete here in Maine, it's a wonderful product and it's starting to be talked about. That's building material to build homes with. We have one associate that's what they specialize in Florida, and they're trying to get that back up here in Maine. So with the farmers will come this industry. So we need to get the farmers more on board. Like Dawson said, the dairy farmers are really struggling, and so a lot of the farm space that the dairy farms are turning to hemp. Not only that, in the county, we have a lot of other farmers that for one reason or another, have not been able to succeed or continue, and you're losing out generational family farms that now can be reverted and saved with the hemp. So we need to build these up, get the biomass, and then get it to the manufacturers. So right now, I think the biggest opportunity is going to be the manufacturers and the producers of the other products that are going to support the retail industry and the building industry here in Maine.
Delta 9 THC was well below the 0.3 limit, but total THC wasn't. So I don't get it.
It would probably most likely be the overall test of THC. They'll do a full spectrum analysis of that, from my understanding.
So
They don't do that.
They're
There's-
looking
there's-
at your Delta 9.
There's multiple kinds of THC. You got Delta 8, Delta 9, and then also THCA. And so they're probably doing tests on all three of those. And the THCA can be decarboxylated into THC. And from what I understand, this year they're going to be considering THCA the same as THC. So now they're combining all three of those, and that's going to be you got to get below point. Right. But keep working with them, because maybe there's a way you can figure it out. Maybe take different parts of your garden, like strains or whatever.
And what about you, Glenn?
Right. Well, there's a huge opportunity here in the state. It's like I say, it's a place to create jobs. Right now, of course, there's a little bottleneck where we're growing acres and acres and acres of it. Processing at the moment seems to be a little bottleneck. So what I mean is, it's kind of like watching paint dry. First, you have to watch the crop dry, come in, harvest it, and then you have to get it processed. Well, that's the same for every hemp grower in the state. We all have to process. So to get that to market, that's a little bit of a hurdle. So I don't want people in this audience to sit here and think that I'm going to grow an acre field and I'm going to be able to harvest it next fall and that's it. I'm going to cash it in. I found a couple 100,000 pounds in March of this year. Now that got processed and taken care of. But, the farmer that grew that was a little nervous at the time. So we do have some things to overcome, but it's a burgeoning industry. It's available to all of us, and it's not a huge investment to get this off the ground. There's farmers out there that will absolutely lease you their property at a reasonable price, put something on it that's going to help them pay their taxes. There's farms that are shutting down. I went and looked at a dairy farm in just outside of Augusta, and it's the second to last dairy farm to close. There's only one more left up there out of 17 dairy farms. So these guys need this, and we have the knowledge to take it to them and show them how to do this properly and go through the process. And some of what I saw, some of the issues of what I saw last year was people that were just totally unprepared for the end result, what to do with it at the end. So education is key. Doing the research and educating yourself on what to do at the end of the crop is very important. So that's some of the issues I see in terms of what they've done.
Awesome.
I was wondering, by a show of hands, is anybody farming or thinking about farming? Is anybody thinking about processing? Is anybody thinking about CBD products? Awesome. So this is going to be a great panel to talk to, and I know that we've already had some questions, so does anybody else have any more questions? Perfect.
As far as your considering to grow for hemp food, what kind of acreage would you need to?
I can't hear you.
What kind of acreage would you need to consider if you're going to get involved with hemp food?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're talking about what acreage you would have to get into hempcrete.
Correct.
So you would have to talk to a buyer of hempcrete to understand what they would want from you and to see if you have the land to actually grow per acre for what they want. So that would be you doing your homework and reaching out to hempcrete buyers and to see what they would require from you to see if you could deliver. And that's basically how easy this is, because there's only so many companies out there that do this. And then you would have your hard numbers to see if you could actually do this or should do this on your farm. And to any of the dairy and the cattle industry that's out there, we are sorry you're suffering. And we're hoping that if you come into the hemp industry, you still keep your dairy and your cattle farms, so you still keep your heritage going. And this will supplement that. Because, to be honest, we fucking love Maine. This is a great, great state. We want it to stay the same. So if you can do this and keep your companies that you have, that's awesome. So please take that to heart. Thank you.
Is there any trials or tribulations that you or your companies have faced when it comes to regulations?
It's we just, like what Catherine was talking about, we kind of got ambushed in February of this year. And all of a sudden, we were seeing letters issued by the Department of Agriculture saying, we're going to take CBD products off the shelf that aren't topical. And so that was a bit of a roadblock, but we tackled it pretty good, I think. We got, like Catherine said, we got an emergency bill enacted, and it pretty much straightened things out for in-state products that are sold in-state. But we've got all kinds of screwed up stuff going on to try to make your business out of state, to try to ship your products out of state, and to try to sell your products interstate and stuff to different vendors and stuff, like what Janet's going through and stuff. And so there's a lot of work to be done in some of these other states and on the federal level. And I just have this personal. My biggest fear is whatever the pharmaceutical companies want is going to be the real battle, because they're going to be putting all their battle powers into that, and we're going to have to deal with that nonsense. And so, and then Monsanto, they could really screw this whole industry up too. So I think in the big picture, those are our two biggest enemies.
You nailed that. So a lot of us growers are going to be uniting in a meeting that Janet will talk about later. And this is for all the states that have legal hemp and legal THC. We like the mom and pop culture. We've all fought for it in every state, legal and medical. We're all very proud of that. We can all look at our grandchildren and our children and know we did right. So now it's the next step. Do we get pushed aside for these multi-trillion-dollar businesses? Or do we kind of unite for the mom and pop growers? And we're talking to the hemp farmers that are looking to save their companies as well. So eventually coming this, after the holidays, there'll be a meeting. We'll put it all over social media to meet up in Rhode Island and see what we can come up with and save our industry so it doesn't go all big business. So there's a lot behind the scenes we do. It's just been an amazing ride. I personally never thought I'd be involved with any of this. And until my wife over there said I could, I knew I wasn't getting into any of this. So we try to look light on all this, but this is a stressful industry. So when you're getting into it, you really, your farmers, you already know how stressful that is. The same thing. It's just regulations now. If you screw up, you can go to jail. So you really have to look at it right. You have to have attorneys and accountants. And again, about the hempcrete, that was an awesome question. I strongly urge you to reach out to the hempcrete providers now, so you'll get your hard numbers to see if you can do this in the springtime and join the other Newton family.
No one really thinks about what to do or how you can harvest the product. You can't just go out there with your harvesters and harvest it like corn. It's not like that. It's not a plant. It's not a vegetable. So you really have to look at the beginning value and the end value get it manufactured. That was the biggest thing. So I think growing it's probably easier than actually getting the end product on the shelf, because if you don't execute, you've done nothing. So that's where the money is going to give you. It's going to give if you grow a cornfield, you know right away. Right now, you're gonna feed that to either the cows or somebody's going to come and you're use it as corn meal, you can use it as a tax write-off. You got to know what to do with your product before you actually grow it. You got to know where it's going before it goes. Have a plan.
Wonderful advice. And how about you with trials and tribulations has your business base, and how have you overcome it? Or is there anything coming up that you want to let us know about?
Oh, I got some things to say. So I have systematically watched this industry start to fall down the drain in the last 6 months. Since the Farm Bill came out, state by state, each state is making a determination as to what to do with CBD, because there's no clear regulation coming from federal. All the FDA has left us with is, well, it's illegal in food. Well, that leaves things wide open for a market that's 3 years old, 4 years old, international. So coming in February, I am one pissed off mama. I own a business that's going strong, and I like to keep it that way. I've invested everything I have, and I've watched my friends invest everything they have to. Coming up in February in Rhode Island, there will be a regional roundtable conference to which we have invited FDA and DEA policymakers. We have doctors on the panel. We have state representatives on this panel. We would like to hear from all of New England. One thing that needs to be done, they need to see our numbers. There isn't a single business sitting here that's filing taxes under a hemp business. There is no hemp code. They don't know our numbers, and they don't know how quickly we can vote them out of office. So I'm really pissed. There's my trial. I'm just pissed. I want clean banking. I want clean insurance that's affordable and not raping us. I want the ability to, file my taxes as the business I am and not arts and crafts. I am not arts and crafts. She's not a florist. Just saying. Kind of, but not really. We're not drugstores. We need our own tax code. We need our own insurance. We need our own banking. We need the ability to take your damn credit cards. That's business. So we need some clean advocacy, and we need it to happen on a regional level, because state by state does not help international commerce. It's very limiting within our own four walls of this state. I am in 30 states, guys. I'm done playing games. I'm pissed.
Nice, Janet. Nice job.
She's putting together a big task. So if you're involved in hemp at all, this is a lot of work to get this done. You need to be there. If you want to have any say in the way that the hemp industry is changing, be there. For trials and tribulations, I already said we had fear around what we were doing. However, we were staying on top of the laws and what was going on at the state, so we actually didn't pull any of our products from that. But not knowing who you can buy from or where you can sell to, it's made it difficult to do business. Not having the services in place, like the credit card processing. I mean, we're dealing with that with all cannabis products, and that's very challenging with the banking. I'm lucky that my bank happens to be open to cannabis businesses, but they only cover a few of the counties in Maine. So many people are not covered at all, and that's a really huge issue. But I know that we're working on state level. We've passed laws to help it. Now we have to have the federal laws catch up, and we're close. We're getting there. So, we'll just see where the banking industry goes with this, because they're still scared about their federal scheduling. And when people say the feds really don't care, it is definitely going legal. Well, I'm here to tell you, I sat on a court case this week that was about marijuana, medical marijuana, and black market marijuana, and people are going to jail for big time. So it's still a problem. You still need to be aware of what you're doing is federally illegal, on different areas. Now the hemp bill makes it a little bit better for the hemp side, but all it takes is 0.4 or 0.2 to change it from legal hemp to illegal. And when you're growing in mass, we're talking acres and acres, you could face some big time trouble if you're not careful. So you do need to be aware of what the laws are, get involved, pay attention. Go to any classes you can find.
So, one of the trials that tribulations that we have been addressing in this country is the amount of tainted CBD that's been imported from China. And then we're using products that are fully tested and so forth and checked for all of the heavy metals and things of that nature. So when a person goes to, say, the local gas station and buys some CBD and pays an exorbitant price for it, they come to us and see ours is even a little more expensive than that. They don't understand why there's such a price difference. So again, it goes back to education and educating people about buying local, knowing your local farmer who's growing the stuff. That's a huge way to overcome that. But there's been such a influx of the stuff from out of this country into the industry because people are hungry for that answer to their health care. And CBD has been that answer for thousands, even millions of people in this country at this point. But it's looked at as a cash cow by a lot of people, so there's been a lot of bogus products, and straight up including products that don't even contain anything, but they have a nice shiny label on it. So, it's like I say, it's a virgin industry, it's new, and we're going through the pains here, but it's definitely entry level, and in a place where we can educate people about how to buy local and use local products.
I just want to add something to that. With all of the products that are coming in, and most of them are not reputable, the ones that are being imported in, that is bringing up another problem. I have a lot of patients that I see that we talk to that have issues, physical issues, that they have tried CBD and they're like, it doesn't work. And they're telling everybody that they know, it doesn't work. It's bogus. It's snake oil. Well, a lot of the products out there are snake oil. It's up to us to educate those people that that's untested, imported, probably doesn't contain much of anything other than heavy metals, and to find a local supplier, buy from a farmer or a local business, ask for test results. It's critical that you know the source of where this is coming from. Allow a natural supplement that very well could help them because they just think it doesn't work.
Fantastic.
So it's true what they say, all good things must come to an end. Thank you very, very, very much to our panelists for coming here. I got the honor of putting this panel together, and there is nobody who better represents the industry and what's going on here in Maine. I think our last question, what you touched on, is really important. Maine wants to keep it Maine. So before we end, I really would love if you guys could tell us, where can we follow up, where can we find you, and any final thoughts for our audience, because I know they're going to have a lot of wonderful questions for you.
Well, you can just find me on Facebook, probably. That's probably the easiest way to find me, and or at my business, which is East Coast CBDs. And I think a lot of people in the community are basically willing to help others that are trying to get into it. I'm that type of guy, and there's a lot to getting into hemp farming. It's a lot different than just growing corn and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you know some of the trials and errors before you get into it.
My office is in Sanford, Maine. We're like 15 minutes off of exit 19 Wells. And we're a full-blown caregiver. We believe in the THC therapy with CBD. So we're appointment only. You can catch us on Instagram, Uncle Pete's Relief, or Pete Train Fontaine on Facebook. Thank you very much for sitting through this. It means a lot.
So I'm actually going to start with a little bit more of what you had said as far as supporting local. It goes a lot further than just getting quality CBD products. Dawson buys uniforms for baseball teams. So does this guy. These guys donate to school programs. We make dog bones to buy service dogs for kids in need. So there's a lot more to what we do in our communities and in this industry than just providing quality products. Support local. It does matter. You can find us at hippiechickllc.com. We're at booth 704 and we're located in Sangerville, Maine, and we do have our own boutique now.
You can find us at the State House quite often. You can find us at our shop in Winthrop, Maine, Homegrown Healthcare, and we are on Facebook. My staff is on Instagram. I'm still learning, but we're there. And you can call and make an appointment. The trade association is located in Winthrop as well, and they are online, mmcm-online.org.
I happen to be in the same place.
Two for a deal.
All right, everyone, can we please give our panelists
Panelists, a round of applause. Thank you so much. Our next panel is going to start at 1 o'clock. And if you have any questions, come on up. Make sure you get their business card. The fortune is in the follow-up.